5-star shout out.
I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make you know what I'm talking about.
Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Side Jawn. I am your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Are y'all feeling all right? Glad to be here on my favorite day of the week, Saturday. Happy Saturday, Dennis.
Yes, definitely happy Saturday. Y'all know how we do on Saturdays. We come through, you know what I mean? We have a special interview today with the podcast because this is putting it on a pod series. So this is the Phresh Perspective Sports are in the building, but these guys do talk a lot more than sports. If you ever heard their show, I would like to say that they are the political side of sports entertainment. That's what I would like to call them, the political side. They go a little bit deeper than I do. I mean, I call them trash and I call it like I see it. They know a backstory and they know who gave them the backstory and they believe their backstory. That's to these guys. But as you see, we have Courtney Chappelle in the house. What's going on, Court?
It's good, y'all. How are y'all? Thank y'all. Been a minute, man. What's up?
All right. And we have D. Stanfield, the professional, in the house. What's going on?
What's good? What's going on, everybody, man? Thank y'all for the invitation to the show, man. It's good to get back with y'all one time.
Yes. Usually every time we get on the show, we ask the number one question: how was your week? So I'm gonna start with the guests first, and I'm gonna ask you fellas, how was your week?
For me, it was a good week, man. It's been calm, very calm. I ain't do too much this week. College basketball is on, so that's what I've been watching all week. I've enjoyed that.
Okay. All right. What you got?
I don't know, man. For me, it's been an excellent week. I've had a nice run for the last month or so. Taking on a few new clients. The sports side is very, very interesting. I'm enjoying college basketball right now. Parity is looking outstanding. I'm enjoying the I'm enjoying the NBA right now actually as well. So it's been a very good week. And it's been a nice recovery since my Buffalo Bills took that hellacious L going in the playoffs trying to get to the chip. So shut up, Sharon.
Okay. Chocolate Girl, how was your week, baby?
You know what, Dennis? I've got some good news. This has been the best week that I have had since January 11th. And January 11th was the day I got sick. I was sick for like 8 weeks straight. Well, I feel better. I felt better this week than I have all of 2023. That is something to be said. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Because I'm telling you, it's nothing like feeling good. And when you feel bad, it affects everything else going on in your life. So this has been a good week. Yesterday we celebrated my niece Alexis' 28th birthday. Happy birthday, Alexis. And like we do right about that time, we always sing happy birthday the Stevie Wonder way and get the family together. And, the devil was busy yesterday trying to mess with our whole family, but we stared down the devil, got together, ate some good food and cake, and celebrated her birthday anyway. That's how we do. So it was a good evening, a good week. My grandbaby's doing well. He is the cutest thing on earth, and I love my son, love him. Sister Sheila good, Dominique, my other niece, we all good. It's been a good week. How about you, Dennis? How's your week been?
My week was good. I usually have typically good weeks. I don't do nothing outrageous, mess my week up and nothing like that. But my week was good.
Good.
Next week is gonna be even better because I'm gonna be out there networking a little bit. So next week's gonna be even better. Hopefully, I can get certain people to come on the show.
Oh,
Hopefully, but I'll be networking.
that's right.
This
I'm
week.
sorry, Dennis. I left out my very best news. Is
Okay.
I picked up a new client this week. The chocolate writer has a new client, another new client.
Get money. $1,000 cash money.
2023, baby. 2023.
I'm gonna hit you
Yeah.
with that. I'm gonna hit you with that old famous line. Let me hold $20.
It's
That
on the
that is
way.
my line right there. Twenty
On the way.
dollars.
Just
That
put
is my
your
line.
cash app in the chat. Put your cash app in the chat.
I only
That's
I only use Zelle. I don't like fees coming with my requests.
Oh, oh, you know what? I think I got a new account. I think I got a new Zelle account.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just give me put that phone number in there. I'll send you $20.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, brother, hold that, hold
Yeah,
that,
hold it. Let you
all
hold it.
right. Well,
Not hold it. Hold it. Let me
hold
hold it.
that.
everybody out there, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, Fresh Perspective is here, and I always, I've done shows with these guys. I watch these guys. We've been on the same network. Um, I love seeing these guys doing their show, but I actually want to know exactly how did Fresh Perspective start?
Oh wait, dang. You the person that needs to give you the real story is not here. He's actually at the branch. Irving Hawkins. Shout out to
Yeah.
Irv. Shout out to D Burks. I'll give the synopsis on how it was given to me because I am not actually a charter member of Fresh Perspective.
Mm.
Um, Fresh Perspective actually started in the break room at a specific airline not to be mentioned. It started with two gentlemen by the name of Demarcus Burks, Irvin Hawkins. They used to have these debates, and then uh, and then one day, uh, Irv overheard Court debating, and was like, "Yo, I got to bring my man in to debate with D Burks." And Court and D Burks, Irv brought Court to see D Burks, and they had a debate about, if I'm not mistaken, Andre Iguodala and why he was a good fit with the Golden State Warriors. And the debate was so good, Irv was like, "Yo, we need to put this on wax." And Fresh Perspective was born.
Wow.
You know what year that was? Do you know what year that was?
I
Uh,
believe it was
20,
2017 or
no,
2016. 2016.
no. Mm-mm. It would have been
15.
summer of 2012.
2012. There you go.
I meant summer of 2013. Excuse me.
So yeah.
Yeah, it would have been summer 2013. Yeah, it would have been summer 2013, and it did all of that he said, but it started from a group chat. Actually, it started. I can't remember the name of the group me. It started from a group me group chat, and
Oh
Oh
yes.
yeah, that was back in the day. Group
yeah,
me.
it
Yeah,
started from a group me group chat, and it slid all the way into where it's at now.
that's good. All that over sports debating and arguing. That's usually how sports shows start though.
Yeah.
Overnight. And then I was arguing about Andre Iguodala. He thought he didn't fit. That was
Iggy.
weird.
Um. Yeah. At the time, Burks, he wasn't against Andre. He just didn't see the
He
point
didn't
in
see the fit. He
having
didn't see the
Andre.
fit.
He didn't see the fit and the point of having Andre if you got it with Harrison Barnes there. Um, I just happened to be an Andre fan coming out of college, and then I was a big Allen Iverson fan, so I seen Dre early years, and I seen him when AI left, so I kind of knew what Dre could do with or without the ball or in different roles, um, and I just felt like he would he wasn't a point guard, but he could run the offense. So he could take the ball away from, and he had more offensive ability than Draymond did. So
Right.
like them putting him in that lineup with that grouping, I felt like he could run the offense, and now you got two people to run off shooters, and you don't got to worry about Draymond. Draymond could do what Draymond do, and they still was intact.
Okay. All right. That's how y'all summed it up. Now, when so when did the rest of the members come on? So now, as of right now, you telling me it's Herb, it's Court, and I forgot who the other guy y'all was talking
D Birds is me, D Birds.
D-Birds. So
Um,
you could speak to how Bo got on. I know Bo had his own show at first.
yeah, I was doing a show with somebody asked me to come in and do a show. Bo happened to be doing his own show at the time.
The
And
common thread being here, Dennis, that we all worked at the airline that we talking about.
yeah, we all
about. Yeah, I know that. I ain't gonna dispose the airline, but y'all all worked at the airline. And,
yeah, me and Bo was shooting a podcast somewhere else, like away from Phresh Perspective. And Bo actually D Birch brought in Bo. He knew Bo. He knew Bo had a show elsewhere. Bo, not that the show wasn't doing good, but it just the network he was on and the situation, it was just being it was a lot. So Bo ended up leaving his show that he had, and Birch brought him on the Phresh Perspective. And then I don't know the conversation between him and D Stanfield, but D Stanfield came in like a year later.
Yeah, I came in April 2017. So,
Yeah.
and how that worked out was D-Birds knew my engineering and project management background. So I was actually brought in.
Ah,
I
that's
was
right.
actually brought in to take the show to help take the show to the next level in terms of like structure, organization, the project piece, just the project piece of the podcast itself. So I was not actually supposed to be on the show. I was running the show for a little while behind the scenes, and then I think Bo, as usual, didn't show up one day, so I ended up on camera, and and it went real well. And Irv was like, "Yo, you should be on the show regularly," which is, uh, to be quite honest with you, kind of difficult. Trying to run the show and be on the show is kind of difficult, but
it is definitely difficult. It is definitely difficult because you
yeah,
can't be the talent and run the show at the same time.
you cannot. It is.
That's the
Well,
that's the
it's
thing about it.
possible.
You can't be
It's
both. That's
possible to
why,
do it if you're not shooting live. If you shooting live, it's damn near impossible.
man. That's why I also appreciate those where I don't have to do nothing but be the talent. I can just show up. I know my role. Know what we talking about. Get in, get out. I love it like that. But if you gotta run the show and you gotta go, it's kind of difficult to do both.
It really is. It really is.
But I've been
100%.
working through it for years. But it's kind of difficult. It ain't nothing that's just like rain dead easy.
I mean, we've talked about it in private, Dennis.
Yeah.
Shit is it's a
And
monster,
see,
man.
and
I used to
you
have
got a 4K camera, so matter of fact, y'all got a couple of them. So y'all actually are like,
we got a 4K and a 6K.
yeah, see, that's what I mean, man. Got an office space. Like I ain't get there yet, but I can
No,
say I've been there.
we lost the
I'm
office
lying.
space.
I mean, but y'all had it at the time. But
Oh yeah.
I've been there, but I'm just saying I haven't um been to that point where as though that's where I'm gonna be at for years. Like I've done it for like 2 years on a consistent basis. And now I'm thinking about going back to that, being live with a camera consistent. That's like the point that I'm trying to get to. So
Which
then when
by
did
the
ice
way,
so when did ice come on?
so Ice actually came on in in almost the exact same manner that I did. So everybody, people that don't know, Ice, whose his real name is Amir Drake. He Ice is a licensed, certified FIBA agent and basketball scout and basketball coach. So between all of us, when you talk about in the beginning, when you talked about having the background, having the knowledge, having the wherewithal and things of that nature, D Burks, Ice, Court, all three of those gentlemen are certified in some way, shape, or form, specifically with basketball and football. Um, all three of those, well, all four of us have sat in press rooms. Irv has done a radio show on the sports side and continues to do cameos on his radio show. And like I said, Bo has had his own show. Bo is a football coach that actually does pretty well. He specializes in youth development and 7-on-7s. So, but Ice came in again the same way that I did. Bo was missing one day, and we needed another person on the set. So we try we try not we try not to bring anybody in that doesn't necessarily have a background and knowledge base that will benefit the show because we try to set a high standard. So I reached out to Ice because he's my cousin and he just happened to be available. And I had already invited him to come on the show one or two times, and he just the timing just didn't work out. But this time it did, and the show went really well, and he's been on ever since.
That's definitely good to hear. And now we found out how New Edition got together, because this is the New Edition group. Now we found out how New Edition got together. That's definitely good to hear. Definitely good to hear. Now when is it that when is it that it was like it's official? We putting it on wax. We gonna go every week. When was that official?
That happened before I got there. They were putting it on a week before I got there. And like I said, D Burts asked me to come in and help to put the show on a regular, like with the editing, with everything that goes into making a full production. So I would say June of 2017 is when my impact actually began to take place. So and then as y'all know, because of how we met, I would say around November, December of that same no, around the November, December of 2018, because it took us about a year to really gauge and gather the fluidity that we needed in order to have an impact. So about November, December 2018 was when I began working with Dre at Rise Up, and that's when I met Dennis. Working with Dre at Rise Up. I'm sorry, I got my son and my wife carrying on in the background, but working with Dre and then working with Phresh Perspective, I was able to learn a few things from Dre, and shout out to Dre and Rise Up. I was able to gather a new family in the Rise Up family, and with you all and Dennis and Sharon and Letitia and all of them, and then gathering that family and working through those hills and valleys, if we will. We found a nice stride. So that's how that kind of came about, if you will. I don't know if Court has anything to add to that.
Nah, that was pretty simple.
Yeah, shout out to Dre. Dre did teach a lot with the Rise Up. Have to say that, and definitely made you believe that anything was possible.
Oh
I have
yeah.
to give him
Oh man.
that.
Dre, yo, talking about overcoming adversity. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Not to go too far into things, but I mean, I think that my desire to push towards the evolution and the continued upkeep and maintenance of this digital family that we have across the nation, it was sparked by Dre. Um, I wouldn't know about Ramona's issue. I wouldn't have known about Sharon's issues if it wasn't for Dre. So, so
Right.
man, shout out to that dude again. Again, I lied with the family. Everything's not gonna be all good at all times, but man, the love has always been there. So shout out to that guy.
Most definitely. I have to agree with that. Now, besides that, now in Fresh Perspective, there's a lot of members over there. I know what a lot of different people things to get hectic. What was some of the downtimes in Fresh Perspective? You would say.
Uh, well, most of my downtimes came in and Rise Up, not Phresh Perspective. I don't think we've had really any downtimes other than I don't want to speak on this in grave detail, but I will just say my biggest downtime was the loss of D Burts. Um, like D Burts brought me into the fold. D Burts brought pretty much everybody into the fold, and then uh, because of one reason here or there, he decided to leave the group. Um, to this day, I miss that dude, man. So shout out to him. That's pretty much the only downtime that I've had, other than working through the technological issues that we've dealt with over the years.
Man.
Yeah, for me, I don't think it's a we really had downtimes. I think more so we've done. You can see we started in 2013. So as we've done this from 2013 to now, which is like now that when you think about it, it's been 10 years. A lot of changes has happened in life. So it's been ebbs and flows of different times where we disappeared. Where I moved out to the West Coast, and I'm operating from LA now, and I was running my own. I was running a podcast called Another Chappelle Show and Coast to Coast Sports. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Mike. I was running those sports as well. I was running those podcasts from Los Angeles as well as still connected to Atlanta. So the time difference, scheduling, running around that stuff and down. Then you got some people got married, some people had kids, some people had their own life things that go on. Then you got COVID. Then you got so everybody with work schedules and new kids and new families and this it kind of because, like you said, because it's a massive group of us, you might see 3 of us on the show, 4 of us on the show, and they look like, yo, these dudes don't get along. They ain't never around each other. They're like, nah, people got life, people got kids, people got families, people got wives, people got moms. Like, it's kind of hard to balance that when it's 5 of y'all. It's hard to get 5 schedules on one accord. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not really downtimes. It's more so times where it's like, all right, man, it's only 2, 3 of us active right now. It's only, this one is here or that one is there. Or even times when I was in LA, I was flying into Atlanta to do it in live person. So that alone is enough hell. So I really want to say downtimes. It's just learning, like you said, it's hard to do production. It's hard to stay on consistently. And then when we started doing podcasts, it really wasn't a thing. It was like really, really new. So
Yeah.
we got caught in the wave of we've kind of, and I don't like to take credit for this, but at that same airline or people that we worked around, we kind of opened the doors and gave light to the podcast world. And everybody was able to kind of, okay, we could take that and grab that and we could just pile in that way. So it's kind of like we didn't lose any juice, but you see the ebbs and flows of the business. I have not been a part of businesses like when music first really kicked off or thing like that to see how it changed, but to see the podcast game from where it was 2013 to now is massively different.
Yeah, they start giving out that massive money. That's what.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I mean,
it's,
on top of that, I think that COVID kind of catapulted a lot of that energy in place because people sat at home with really nothing to do, but figure out if they wanted to create their own miscellaneous trash ass voice, and so just like with streaming music, you got to sift through the trash to get through the substance. So
right.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, Corey hit it on the head, and I can echo that, man. The whole podcast scene, like even when I jumped on the crew, like what we were doing was just not. I'm gonna be honest with you. What we were doing was just not. It was not as commonplace as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the conversations that we were having, the no holds barred type of conversations. Like if y'all look at shows from 2017, bro, we would have got canceled in real life. The shit we was saying on the air was not, yo, that's yo, bro. Like I want to go back and erase some of them shows offline right now because if they pull them shows back up, bro, it might be a problem.
Well, you ain't hosting the Oscars, so don't worry about
No,
that.
no, but you know, a nigga can still get snapped.
That's very true.
That's why,
Nobody's
that's
above
why
getting snapped,
I
man.
try to be careful with what I say and how you deliver it. And
Huh?
I had Donovan on the show because Donovan actually taught me that. Careful what you say and how you say it. Just can't go around calling everybody this and that. You know what I mean? And you never know who watching you. That's another thing. You never know who watching you. You put all this stuff out there on the internet. Somebody gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
That is something that I definitely had to learn.
That is
Somebody
a
is
fact.
definitely gonna see it. Somebody gonna have something to say about it. Did y'all get any backlash since y'all been doing this? Has anybody ever hit y'all up like, oh man, I can't believe you said that?
Um,
Me,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
me more so than the grouping. You know, me
No,
more so the
I
group.
can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
See,
y'all,
No,
if y'all don't,
not you.
if y'all don't know, like I said, this is a new edition. But Courtney is Bobby Brown of the group. All right,
Courtney
I
Bobby
just told
Brown.
Courtney is Bobby Brown of the group. If y'all don't know,
so
Courtney is
me,
definitely Bobby Brown. I'm more so
yeah, for sure. I can live with that. For me, I definitely gotten the yo, your man is crazy. Yo, what's up with your man? Why is he talking like that? I can't deal with this dude. Believe me, I have gotten hey man, somebody don't want to come on the show because they don't think you. And it's like me, I'm the
You.
actual good one here, man.
Oh Lord. I
yeah,
remember the
we
first time I saw the show, I hit Dennis up in the chat. And I said, Dennis, who is this court dude? Who is he? I was like, oh my God, I can't stand. Then the more I watched the show, I got you. I was like, no, that's the dude right there. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's it. That's the dude. I see why he's on the show. I love it.
Sharon, don't worry, you're not the only person. Believe me, it's been plenty of text messages and back channels on live shows that go, yo, who is that, man?
Who
Like,
is that?
who is that and why is he over here talking like that? They did that though. They have projected me to be the bad guy. They know how to poke. They do
yeah,
Mhm.
things on
they
purpose,
do.
and they do it on purpose. And then when I react, they make it like it's shocking, and they know what
Oh
they.
my gosh.
Yo, let me
Well,
tell
yeah,
you.
Yeah,
they
Let
he
me tell
took
you
nah,
it
that's
as
I
a,
did
let
a
me tell you that's a
I did a
bold
live
that's a
show. I
bold
did a
faced
live
lie,
show with
man.
these fellas. Right, did a live show with these fellas, and I knew when we started talking about the Boston Celtics at that time that Courtney had something crazy to say, and and Devon Stanfield, he gonna say, "Yo, you should ask Court what we feel about the Boston Celtics." So what you feel, Court? He said everybody got to go, from management to the players. So the only people ain't leaving is Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. Everybody else got to go. I said everybody else got to go. I said,
I
oh.
agree with that too.
Yo,
I
Look
did.
now, look, Dennis. Almost everybody is gone. Last time, everybody's gone.
From that time, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
there's some people gone that court didn't even have on the list.
Look,
All because they don't know how to keep it in their pants. But we ain't gonna
Hey, whoa.
go
Ooh,
everybody's gone.
hot button. Hot button.
there. Hey man, sometimes you gotta shaft the boy. Anyway,
Oh,
yo, let me just say this, yo.
This is
It's funny
Phresh
that Court,
Perspective is here, y'all.
yo, relax.
Mhm.
Let me just say this. It's funny that Court should bring up the bad guy moniker because Court definitely reality show wise is Phresh Perspective from the aspect of like, okay, I'll be honest with you. I say stuff online that I don't even believe so I can fire Court up sometimes. You know?
I did recognize that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what's crazy is Court's already crazy. You don't need to fire him up. So if I push the buttons, it's guaranteed to go heavy. But yo, it's the chemistry between Court. the chemistry between Court and Bo is insane, but y'all never really got a chance to, unless you go back to, like I said, early 2017, 2016. You won't get the chance to see Court, D, Burtz, and Bo go at it. That shit was a joy to watch. It was hard to listen to because they always talked over each other, but it was a joy to watch, man. So shout out to them again, man.
It's fun watching him and Bo though. That's fun.
It is.
Yeah, Bo ain't going for that. Yeah.
Bo got cursed out by my wife the other night, by the way.
Oh Lord.
We had an after show. We had an after show get together at the house, and I don't know if y'all remember. Dennis remembers this, but back in 2021, we were on the air. It was shortly before Dennis came down to visit, matter of fact, and we were on the air, and Bo said something along the lines of, "I don't know why women are commentating anyway. They need to go back to the kitchen where they belong."
Oh, not the Charles Barkley. Oh, I forgot about that. Either with the Charles Barkley.
I was in the comments.
You were in the comment section. That's right.
I cussed him out in the comments. I remember that clearly.
Oh my goodness.
That is when we would have been canceled. That would have been the moment we would have been canceled for sure. That would have been the enough.
Nah.
They always say something. Enough is enough moment.
I told Devon, I said, look, you need to let me on the show now. You didn't let me on the show. I was like, what?
Wait, the comment section was so lit. I was like, oh, Irv walked off the set, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Yo, that was crazy.
I was like, kitchen.
Yeah,
I forgot all about
that. I said, nigga, don't you know I forgot more sports than you know? Please.
I think Candace Parker had said something crazy on air, and then Bo said that, and I was like, oh, even I wouldn't say nothing like that, and I'm batshit. So
yeah. But all of y'all got an edge to y'all, and honestly, it's just except Irv and Ice. Irv and Ice is pretty much, cool, calm, and collective. But I would have to say Stanfield, Courtney, and Bo, y'all three got an edge to y'all. Y'all, if you ask y'all three a question, it's gonna go left. Just be prepared.
And see, I don't look at Court as having an edge though. I don't think he has an edge. He a little crazy, but not edge.
He got an edge.
I don't feel the edge. I don't feel the Court.
I
don't feel it. I feel you a little crazy though. But I don't feel like you got an edge necessarily.
He got an edge, yo.
Now the professional is like somebody I wouldn't want to meet him in an alley somewhere, because if he's mad at you, he'll probably cut you as soon as on sight. I ain't messing with him, but I don't get the edge feeling from you.
Yeah, I've been in plenty of arguments with Devon, man. And Devon will get me in an argument, and it'll always be one that's like futuristic. So I can't really get my say off right then and there. But I'll be like, yo, he's gonna be better than him. And they come along. And I think the first argument we ever got into was Kenny Galladay and Cooper Kupp. That was the first argument we ever got into. And he said, Kenny Galladay is a better wide receiver than Cooper Kupp. I see.
See, and that's when the alcohol be talking. Right?
No, but this was Detroit Lions lighting it up, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, no.
And he like, Cooper Kupp ain't number the slot receiver. I'm like, this dude is everywhere on the field. Like, he ain't just playing, he everywhere.
He's still a slot receiver.
Between the dude, what's the dude that went to the Rams this year? He left Chicago.
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay. I have felt the same. D will tell you, I have felt the same way about these guys forever. I have always felt y'all just like them because they tall with long arms. You cannot actually look at them on the field and genuinely be like, yo, those dudes is it. Like, it's impossible for you to see.
I disagree with the Allen Robinson. I still disagree with the Allen Robinson thing, but only because I saw what he did at Penn State. He was a monster there. But the Kenny Galladay thing, I knew that Kenny Galladay was nothing more than a deep threat that if you could get him the ball, he could torch you. The thing is, he's not a gadget guy. Like he's not a superior route runner. His footwork is horrible, so he's not going to be a Cooper Kupp whose footwork and mechanics are elite. To be quite honest, but
all that for y'all. As a matter of fact, I asked the whole panel this: where does Cooper Kupp end this year?
Cooper Kupp is not even going to be a top 10 receiver this year.
I mean, like, what team do you see Cooper going to?
He's going to stay where he's at. He's a loyal guy.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. You don't think he's going to be a top 10 receiver?
Nah, I don't think. I think that what's going on in the with their quarterback situation is going to fizzle him out. I think that he needs to get out of there. And in order to get back to where he was a year and a half ago, I think he needs to get out of the Rams. He needs to go. If I were Cooper Kupp, no cap, I would be going somewhere with a young quarterback that's trying to find his footing and develop that relationship and ride that shit to the Hall of Fame.
He can come right on over to the Steelers. Come right up. Come on, Cooper.
Nah, I can't have him in Pittsburgh. That would be a problem. Nah,
I ain't say you. Me. I'm saying
I can't have him in Pittsburgh.
I want him in Pittsburgh.
As a Buffalo Bills fan, I cannot have him in Pittsburgh.
Y'all hate us.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
I know it. Mm-hmm.
Now he can come to Buffalo.
What if
want everybody in Buffalo?
What if he went to Arizona?
But you said young quarterback.
He went to Arizona to replace D-Hop?
Yeah.
Arizona wouldn't be bad for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona would be bad at all. Like I said, that's a scenario. You got a young quarterback there that's really trying to find his footing. He needs some type of consistency. I'm gonna tell you where I would like to see if they can work out their situation. I would love to see Cooper Kupp in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I would too.
That wouldn't be a bad spot for Cooper Kupp.
I would want to see him with Lamar Jackson, no matter where Lamar Jackson is.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, Sharon. If Lamar Jackson got somebody as consistent and productive and coachable as Cooper Kupp, it could be a problem for the league because
it could.
You saw bits and pieces of that when he had a healthy Mark Andrews. So having somebody like Cooper Kupp, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think your Steelers, speaking of your Steelers, and I know y'all just drafted a quarterback last year. I know that, and I understand that y'all genuinely like that kid. However, I definitely think y'all should get Anthony Richardson. I actually think that's where I see him in that jersey. Oddly enough, I might not be the biggest fan of, but I actually see Anthony Richardson in that jersey. And under Mike Tomlin, I like him better in Pittsburgh for some odd reason. I don't know if y'all would do it. I don't know why, but I genuinely like him.
I see that, but I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I agree with you. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it, but I definitely would. Me sitting in that chair, I might push the button.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
don't press any button for a quarterback in Pittsburgh because we know the tradition. They're not picking no two quarterbacks back to back.
Mm-hmm.
But if they pressing any button for a quarterback, I think it's DTR. That's what I think they will get.
You think DTO?
DTR, yeah. Dominique Thompson Robinson.
Okay, all right.
He's a good quarterback, though. And he's tough.
I actually, never mind.
We like tough quarterbacks.
I actually could see Will Levis in that jersey.
I could see him too.
Will Levis has if they could catch Will Levis in the second or third round, he has enough time to grow in the Pittsburgh jersey where Kenny Pickett has time to fizzle out and then Will Levis can take over. Because I'm not a believer in Kenny Pickett at all.
But I do like Kenny Pickett throwing touchdowns to
George Pickens. Yeah.
George Pickens. I call that pushing P when he throw touchdowns on.
I call them boys the PP boys.
Wow.
Don't say that anymore. No.
Yeah, lead them out of that.
The PP boys.
No, please don't call them that.
I call it pushing P.
I like pushing P. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, PP boys.
No. Well, why don't y'all believe in Pickett? I'm Pickens. I'm Pickett. I'm sorry. I believe in him.
I think he's nothing more than a stronger arm Nathan Peterman.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think
He's not that bad.
I don't think he's that bad.
I said what I said.
I don't think he's
But
that
how do you? I'm just trying to understand. How do you get there?
Because he gets in games. He starts off well. He does pretty well, and then he'll throw that miscellaneous pick, or he'll make those crucial mistakes. I mean, look at his college career at Pittsburgh. It'll tell you a lot lot about him.
But I looked at him in college, and I saw his growth through the season. I saw his problems at the beginning of the season.
You see him lose. You see him lose the games that you see him lose to teams that they should have blow out.
Yes, I saw him. I did. And then I saw him lose to us in the bowl game. So I followed him. I saw some growth. And you got to remember it was his rookie season last year. He made rookie mistakes. I'd rather have a quarterback come in as a rookie and make rookie mistakes his rookie season and get them out of the way and grow and learn from that. And I can't say that he's not going to grow and learn from that. I don't get the feeling he's just not ever going to overcome his rookie season. I don't get that feel from him. I
mean, I'm glad you're giving him I'm glad you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't see it, and I feel like what Court said is 100% accurate. Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, whoever they get, they better get somebody because.
Well, here's my thing with Kenny Pickett. It's not so much I don't believe he has the ability. I just think his ceiling is Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow.
So, I mean, that might be productive for the Steelers.
That's a high ceiling, bro.
I think, I think it's productive that, it's going to get you some statistically good moments. It's going to have you some wins. He's valuable, but do I think like in the harder hearts in the playoff in those moments where you're going to need somebody to step to the plate and beat them? I don't like.
Yeah, I kind of echo that. First of all, his arm is a lot stronger than Jimmy Garoppolo's.
Yes,
I wouldn't put him in. His arm is a Derek Carr type arm.
Yes,
but his accuracy, his timing, his lack of ability for a natural feel for the game is not. From what I've seen thus far, and from what I saw in college, it's more gunslinger athleticism than it is like natural. Like I'm about to carry this team type. So
I don't think he's bad though. I just don't believe he'd want to take them back to where they got to get to, and eventually they're gonna have to move on anyway. So it's to me, I would have just pushed the button early before we even get into the whole. He was like a fifth-year senior to me in Pittsburgh. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Every time I seen him come out there on the field, it was like looking at a fifth-year senior who just went to the higher JUCO. Like okay, whatever.
You know who I would like to see in a Pittsburgh? You know who I would like to see in a Pittsburgh jersey though? No, and I'm not joking about this, Sharon. You know who I would like to see?
Who?
What's the quarterback from Tennessee?
Hendon Hooker. My man.
That dude.
What's his name?
Hendon Hooker. That dude screams Pittsburgh to me.
You don't want no man. No, you don't, Sharon. You don't want no man last name Hooker.
See, no.
I love it. I love it.
I'll have to check him out. I
Sharon,
haven't seen him that much.
Hooker and Pickens is a great combination.
Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with Pickens to me. His ceiling
and then Hooker
has a high ceiling.
Hendon Hooker is the prototypical Mike Tomlin quarterback. He's very mature. He can make all the throws. He's athletic.
Two things about him that's messing him up: his age and his injury.
Yeah, he's like 30 years old.
He's
And
25.
25, man. Let me stop because I said that man was 37. Yo, on the air, I said that mustache screams 50 to me. that is a pre-pedophile mustache,
all jokes
baby.
aside, man, between him and the Georgia quarterback, man, I don't think that's fair, bro. These dudes is 25. They could really get in 25 and older clubs, and they out here.
No, they're going. Honestly, for Tennessee, for me being a Tennessee fan, it's worked out for me because now we got Milton, who's another old guy, another fifth-year senior. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Nico after that. So we good on quarterbacks for a good another 6 years.
Yo,
that's the thing that I like about it. But it took us a while to get a good quarterback.
Yo, Court, when they said that Stetson Bennett reminded them of an older Matt Ryan, I almost lost my shit, bro.
See what I'm saying? Nico gonna be the first young adult quarterback we had in about 3 years.
Man, Hendon Hooker looked like somebody's great uncle.
I'm gonna watch my quarterback really closely this season.
Hey, yeah, you say that about Hendon Hooker. I really want to know what you think about Drew Timmy, who I like a lot.
See what I'm just talking about? I just watched Drew Timmy the other day, and I literally just told him that's not fair. Bro is literally an adult, all right? Had he had a kid early in his life, this kid might be in double digits.
Yo, Drew,
basketball court.
Dennis, Drew Timmy reclassified in life.
He's a little old.
He started his life over, bro.
I like Drew Timmy, but everybody kept telling me, this was 2 years ago, people were telling me Drew Timmy is not going to make it in the NBA. I'm like, why not? He got the footwork. He got everything down pat. He can rebound his ass off. I'm like, why not? Then I started looking at him. I said, okay, I see why. He ain't good on help defense. He ain't even trying to take a charge. He ain't doing none of that. But he'll get you buckets, though.
Then he should be perfect. He should be perfect for today's NBA then.
Why would he take a charge? His hip might come out of place.
Oh, Lord.
That headband. You see that headband? That look like a man-made headband. That look like something. It's that headband to me. That it always gets them. What is up with that headband? Where he get that from? You don't sell that. Like
it probably did make it at home.
I know Gonzaga, the authentic trainer, didn't say, "Hey, this is a good headband." I know he didn't say that to me.
That joint is fused to his hairline. Anyway, yeah. Back to this Hendon Hooker thing. I think maturity wise, he can make all the throws, and they don't have to, and they're not gonna have to reach for him. He'll be available in the third or fourth round. So if you're gonna get a quarterback, and especially a quarterback that already knows your offense, grab Hendon Hooker.
If I'll say this, Sharon, if y'all get D-Hop, it might be a different thing for
Damn, I didn't even think about him going to the Steelers.
Yeah, like if D-Hop end up on the Steelers, it could be a whole, you know what I mean? Like it could be a whole different ball game. Quarterback, they got two receivers. D-Hop, the ability to jump, like he might, you know what I mean? Like adding another receiver over there like D-Hop might be a difference maker for the quarterback.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me the Steelers could have traded Claypool for the same pick they about to get D-Hop for?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I ain't put all that shit together.
Yeah.
That is terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna trade Claypool and get D-Hop. Ain't no way nobody listening to this. Like, this is crazy.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's definitely possible. But I'm just sitting there thinking about like this got to be crazy. Who? But I mean, because now with the situation happening in Miami, their second round pick is actually the 32nd pick, so it's actually a first round pick. In all honesty, but I just.
Yo, you heard it here first. D-Hop's going to Buffalo.
Okay.
I wouldn't get D-Hop if I was y'all.
Yeah, we need D-Hop. We don't have anybody to take the focus off of Steph in clutch moments. We need D-Hop. Odell's not coming to Buffalo. And then Odell's still a project. That's why he ain't signed yet.
Still a project for what?
The injury. He's not fully recovered.
He's been out a whole year. What's wrong?
Bro, I don't know. He held the workout, and nobody was gung ho about bringing him in. So that's got to tell you something.
I think it's the money.
Yeah, 20 M's a year, you ain't getting that.
But that's the reason why he didn't play last year, because he wanted to get looking for
he
that big contract.
Court had the inside track on that. He ain't played last year because he wanted a 3-year deal without the pressure of playing last year. That's why.
He don't want 20 right now, but here's my thing with Odell. I'll be honest with you, and y'all know I've always felt about Odell. Odell, early he's revived himself from the earlier days as a Giant. He's cleaned up his image a bit. He's kind of stayed up out of the media for anything negative. I do believe he's looking for a proper team. He's got his Super Bowl, so it's no longer about really accolade at this point. It's more statistically and trying to get in this Hall of Fame track. I hate that he's at the point now where it seems like he's running to look for the right, like he's NBAing this thing, and he's like, yo, what's the right situation that's gonna put me in a Super Bowl thing? Like it's gonna put me in comp. And I didn't view Odell as that. Like I viewed Odell like I viewed D-Hop, where you are a difference maker on a team. You don't need to go somewhere where it's pretty much set up for you and you're just a guy. You're a difference maker if this is the guy you're portraying to still be. Now, if you believe you're a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 at best now, then cool. He says he's not looking for 20 million. I'm actually cool with Odell going anywhere but the Jets. I'm be honest with you. It don't matter. Actually, the best place I would like to see him go is Detroit. To be completely honest with y'all, I would like to see Odell go to Detroit.
I think Detroit loaded at wide receiver.
Absolutely, but I think to take the pressure on him having to be out there often and wear and tear on that body that he tears up a leg every year anyway, I think he needs a loaded wide receiver core to go to, so it's not champion on him to run so many plays. He literally
why he don't just go back to New York? Why don't y'all just take him back to the Giants?
He could come to the Giants. He want a different type of money. He say he don't want 20, but we can't offer him. I think the best we could give him, like if we did everything, the best we could give him is like 6.
Well, no, if y'all give it to him guaranteed up front, you can get whatever you want.
No, he's not getting none of that guaranteed up front.
Why not?
Because this is not how this thing is rolling over here.
But y'all had no wide receivers. Y'all, like in all honesty, y'all could have made some noise to a point that y'all might have beat us.
Mm-hmm. If we had a receiver.
If we had wide receivers.
Correct.
Keyword is Mike.
Right.
But if y'all had wide receivers. So wide receivers is the thing that's holding you back. And you just went out and got Wilder, who's an outstanding tight end, when healthy. So I just don't understand why you wouldn't just go get him back, bring him back home, make the reunion,
So here's the thing in that, right? I agree with you. You go back and get him because you need a main wide receiver. Looking at it executive level, right? It goes, I go get Odell, and Odell's a hell of a talent, but as you said, we just got Darren Waller, who's injury prone himself. Our wide receiver core has been injury prone himself. I'm at the low 20s. I'm at the low 20s right now. I could go get me a speedy wide receiver 1. And look, if you're looking at a GM wise, you go, yo, I had no receivers and I had an injured wide receiver room last year. I made the playoffs and got 1 playoff win. I did that and I got 1 playoff win without a wide receiver 1, 2, or 3. Basically, I basically was operating with 3 of them hurt off the top. So I can pick my wide receiver in the draft, or I could grab me a guy here and add it to Odell's thing. I'm okay getting Odell and bringing him back. My problem is at what number does Odell want to come back at? Are you here to come back home and do what you got to do, or do you want your money? Because I respect anybody wanting their money and getting their money as a Super Bowl guy. He's a resume guy, but this just ain't the spot. And then prime example, he getting ready. I feel like he's gonna go sign to the Jets. So let's say the Jets pay him.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what they posted. What the rumor was yesterday. that Odell was willing to make a deal with the Jets as soon as they finalized the deal with Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So I think he's gonna go to the Jets at 8 to 9 million. My thing is, see you later, bro. If you think going to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, who was having a rough time in the NFC, where it's easier, is gonna be great at the AFC. Well, shit, who am I to argue with you? Go over there with Brett Favre 2.0. Go over there with Brett Favre 2.0, man. You want to live out. Oh, hey, and heads up, I want to give a side note to this. So since I'm on a pod and I can say this early, I just want everybody to remember that Brett Favre left the Packers and went to the Jets and didn't make the playoffs. Okay. So when everybody was telling me I was wrong for telling you,
hold on. Yeah. Brett Favre left the Packers and went to Minnesota first.
No, he went to the Jets first.
He went to the Jets first.
Did he go to the Jets first?
Yeah, he went to the Jets first. They
got him, and then he went to Minnesota and almost got to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, but when he
almost got the Jets to the playoffs, and he wouldn't do that dumb interception.
He threw the dumb interception.
He threw that dumb interception. But I mean, with the Minnesota situation, if it wasn't for the Hunter gate, them taking headshots, trying to take that man's head off, which is probably the reason he got CTE now. If it wasn't for that, he's in the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Yeah, he threw another dumb interception there.
I agree. Unfortunately, when he was in the New York jersey, his ass was 8-8.
Did you just hear what I said? You just said he should have ran the ball. They tried to kill him.
No, not him running the ball. It was Adrian Peterson.
Oh yeah. They should have gave it to AP, but AP got stuffed on first and second down, didn't he?
Oh well, you got to run the clock anyway. So I'm trying to figure out why everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you got stuff first." So what? Keep giving him the ball.
Keep giving him the ball.
They're expecting you to run the ball. You gotta be. I personally would have did some misdirection stuff on first down. I still would have ran the ball, but I would have did some. I might have did some play action reverse type stuff because they weren't doing great on the outs. They weren't stopping them on the outsides. They were killing them on the outside.
You know what? Now that you say that, I don't even know if Percy Harvin played that game, but I would have did something with a misdirection of Percy Harvin.
If I'm not mistaken, he definitely played that game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember that far back. AP did fumble a lot. That was his big problem. He had a fumbling problem a lot. Yeah. But I'm not sure if Percy Harvin played.
Ezekiel Elliott is going to give you his best Adrian Peterson remake. Don't you worry your pretty little heart, brother. Don't you?
Your pretty little heart.
Don't worry, man. I am waiting. If I'm not waiting on anything, I am waiting to bother Jets fans this year. This is the most excited I have been to torture Jets fans in my life. Like, in my life.
I don't have that problem.
I just can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know
I can't wait. If Aaron Rodgers goes there, I can't wait to laugh. I just can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I can't.
I wouldn't have been all in on Aaron Rodgers like this.
I wouldn't either.
I would have went for Lamar. I'd put all my chips in for Lamar.
That's what I would have done. If I was the Jets, I would have gone for Lamar.
He's young. They
had that opportunity too.
Yeah, he's young. The team is young. Like, all your chips in.
Well, you know, they had to do the collusion thing, Dennis. That's why they didn't go after Lamar. They were told not to, so they didn't. It's very clear.
Yeah, and now Lamar's getting 32, non-exclusive.
Did he sign the paperwork already?
I heard.
I haven't seen that he signed the tender, but I would if I'm him, I would go ahead and sign it because it's a non-exclusive tender. He can still talk to other teams.
Hey, Lamar. I'll say kick your feet up, man. Go buy you a house on an island somewhere and just keep working out, brother. So them boys cough up that check. Don't go near Baltimore.
Sure wouldn't. I would not play.
But the one thing about the franchise tender is it's 100% guaranteed. So you sign that money, you're getting 32 M's. And you can still talk to other teams. And if somebody's willing to offer you more, you can take that bag, or Baltimore got to match it. Take that money, bro. Because sitting out, you ain't gonna get nothing. If you sit out on the franchise tender, you get nothing.
Hey man, somebody got to be the bad guy to win out here, man. Somebody got to be the bad guy. But what I will not do is play for less money than Kyler Murray.
Thank you.
No. Not going to happen. Daniel Jones will not be making more money than me on this football field. No. Okay? There are certain dudes I am not getting on this football field that makes more money than me and ain't did what I've done.
See, this is the problem right here. This is why I hate Court. Because Court will give you what he's not willing to do. And he will tell you what this dude is actually worth. And he believes all of that. But then you have to turn around and ask Court the other question. Do you believe in Lamar Jackson, Court?
Define believe.
See what I'm saying? And this is why I fire his ass up. This is exactly.
Wait a minute, hold on. But Court, for the people that don't,
I'm about to give it to you, Dennis. I'm about to give it to you. Court has never believed that Lamar Jackson's evolution as a thrower of the football has reached where it should be at this point in his career, and he still don't believe it.
Even with no wide receivers, you don't believe it?
Even with no wide receivers, because
even with the year that he led the league in passing touchdowns.
The majority of he will tell you that the majority of the guys that he was throwing to were open because of his running, not because of his ability to throw the ball.
Well, he still got to get it there.
Still got to get it there.
He's always had a cannon,
but he never had no receiver.
You gotta have an accurate cannon. You gotta have an accurate cannon.
You don't have to have. I'm in the belief
if they putting 8, 9, and 10 in the box because they're afraid of you running, it's you're playing flag football out there.
In my eyes, this is just me. Even if your cannon isn't accurate, if you have a wide receiver with a big catch radius, he'll make you look good as a passer of the football.
But Court is
but you got to have a wide receiver with a big catch radius. Like Jalen Hurts looks very good throwing the football. But there's some passes that he threw this year that I was just sitting there, I was like, what in there? But AJ Green and Devontae Smith made him look good. But I was just sitting there, I was like, why the hell did he throw that? Like the one in the Super Bowl that he threw to AJ Green in double coverage. This shit going out of bounds. But AJ makes the play to catch it. And at the end of the day, it looks like a great throw. And I shouldn't be talking bad about my son like this. At the end of the day,
thank you for being honest, Dennis. Because
but that's what I said. If you have to have a wide receiver with a big catch radius, it makes your quarterback look better.
It makes the team look better.
Now here's another situation, right? Same team, same quarterback, but he throws to Quez Watkins. Oh, it got to be perfect. There is no big catch radius on that. Quez Watkins got to be perfect. It got to land in his hands because if it don't, Quez is dropping. That's the difference on that.
So as far
I'm off on AJ Brown. I'm sorry, AJ Brown. I said AJ Green. My fault, AJ Brown. Chocolate Girl, you ready?
Ready for what?
The questions.
I told you we just asking questions.
Right, I've been asking all of them. That's what I was trying to.
I just been giving you time. I didn't want to talk over you, so I just been giving you time.
Now we hear the part that it's your time.
If I talk over you, then that's that chick that don't want no men to talk. She want to talk all over the men. I don't want to hear that crap.
Hey, so, listen,
I'm trying to be respectful.
My curfew is about to be in place, so let's move on.
Curfew. Yeah. You got a curfew, a daytime curfew.
If you saw how my wife just walked by this room, you.
Well, I don't want to interfere with that. But anyway, my main question for you guys, since this is putting it on the pod, is when y'all coming back? I miss y'all. I miss seeing your show. So tell the people when you coming back.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We've done the mock-up shows to come back. We keep having technical difficulty issues, and then there has been a schedule conflict, but that schedule conflict has been resolved. So I would say I would hope that we'll be back before the NBA playoffs, but I just had to bear with us because of and then we had a member of the team take a new position in New York City. So our staff cameraman Jamari Ali Thomas, shout out to Jamari. He took a position in New York City, so he's no longer able to do the background camera work, the director of production stuff. He was a big piece that we had while we were in the office, and we
Got
lost.
it.
So we gotta replenish that. So just bear with us for a few weeks. We figuring it out.
Y'all need Indeed. Y'all need to get on Indeed.
I need Indeed.
Y'all need Indeed. Get y'all somebody. Well, that's good. I'm just glad y'all coming back because I got to see some more battles, and I like to hear your perspective on things. And so I have a question. It's a sports question, but what do y'all really think? What do y'all really think about this Aaron Rodgers deal here and him going to the Jets? I understand, Court, you don't think that's going to pan out, but what if they don't? What if they don't make the deal and they keep him in Green Bay? What you think's going to happen then?
I'm gonna speak on this because this is a fire up Courtney question. So I'm gonna speak on this first because I know where this is about to go. I think that the deal with Aaron Rodgers is already done. I think that the Packers are debating on whether they want to try to squeeze something else out of the Jets.
Oh, okay.
I think that deal is already done. I don't think that the Jets would have pulled the trigger on Alan Lazar and other pieces if that deal wasn't already done. So I think that they're just working out the logistics, and the Packers might be making this a little tougher than what it has to be. But I think that deal is already done. Okay. What do I think is going to come about though? To answer your question in totality, if it's a 2-year deal, I think Aaron Rodgers has a great year in the first year. I don't know if he's gonna make the Super Bowl, but I think he has a great year in the first year, and then he fizzles out in the second year, and he probably retires.
What you think, Court?
So let's hypothetically say it doesn't happen. Green Bay cannot bring back Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Like at this point, he's gotten on the show. He said what he said. He did a whole Pat McAfee interview before the deal was done. So, like at this point, they can't be in the same organization and fully function. So I do think the deal is done ahead. How do I feel about it? I've felt this way for a long time, and everybody thought, one, I've always felt like Aaron Rodgers was given too much credit for his skill and ability more than actuality. And I've always been a guy that felt like his first Super Bowl was with Brett Favre's soldiers. Mm-hmm. People that Brett brought up, mentored, groomed, and he came into a situation, fit a system, and won with that. Nothing is wrong with that, but it didn't show me that he can do so with his own guys, in his own way. I feel like they've placated to him and they pampered Aaron Rodgers for the last 3 seasons when he hasn't given you anything to placate and pamper to. And I do think, as D said, statistically, he'll have an amazing season this year, Jets-wise. Like, I think his numbers will be legit. I'm still not a believer of him in the moment. I still think he gets to the playoff where he has a chance to show the guy that they've raved about. And I still think it just doesn't pan out for him. And people go, oh, well, he played Joe Burrow, or, well, he played Patrick Mahomes, or let's hypothetically say D-Hop goes to Buffalo. And they're like, well, look, he was playing D-Hop and Stephon Diggs and Buffalo's defense. And, like, they're going to find a reason for why he took himself to an AFC conference and he couldn't be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with all that, Court, except for 2 things. Number one, I think that Aaron Rodgers has to go to the AFC in order to get it done, because he has a problem playing against Tampa Bay and San Francisco in the playoffs. He for some reason, this superstar that we know just disappears if he has to play against either Tom Brady or the ghost of Tom Brady or anything in California. He turns crazy. He turns horrible in the playoffs. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I don't necessarily feel the same way that you feel about him not giving you anything over the last 3 years, because 2 years ago he was the league MVP. And he was one bad call from his coach taking the ball out of his hands from getting to a Super Bowl. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, but at the end of the day, what we say is what matters, and what matters is did you get the W or did you not? Then he didn't get the W, so that's it.
Well, when I say, let me be clear too, to clarify, when I say he hasn't given you anything, he's been an MVP 4 times. Prior to that MVP, we've seen that. We know statistically he's nice. We know he's going to get his numbers. We know he's going to make throws. Like, when I say nothing, an MVP is dope, but it's like, yo, you got 4 of those, homie. Like, great. All right, man. We know statistically you're going to be a monster in the masses. It goes, okay, so what did you give us a real playoff run? Like Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in a game. You didn't even get that win. And they was like, oh, well, the coach took the ball out of his hands. And I'm like, yo, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in a row.
3.
Y'all. And he didn't score. He didn't do any, like, so we're going to, like, if I was the coach, I would go, well, his ass didn't run just the prior run. Why would I just set him up for a run now? Like, what do you want me to do with the kid? Like, so I do think he's had, like, and I can see if he only lost to Tom Brady. Or he didn't lost to Seattle. He didn't lost to Eli Manning. He didn't lost to Tom Brady, who was old, left his conference and came over to his. He didn't, like, who hasn't he lost to? All of the new NFC guys that won, they went through Aaron Rodgers almost. Like, it's when you say, yo, we got to go into Lambeau and play Aaron Rodgers, are you, like, hypothetically, let's say the Super Bowl was in Lambeau, and Sharon, the Pittsburgh Steelers, was there. He's like, yo, we got to go in the Lambeau and beat Aaron Rodgers. Are you, like, really nervous?
No, we're not.
Well, he hasn't. I don't think he's lost at Lambeau except for the time against San Francisco. I think that all of his losses have come on the road
and against Eli.
And against Eli. But he had most of his playoff losses in the clutch have come on the road, not at home. He's been magnificent at Lambeau for the most part.
For the most part.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Aaron is cool. I mean, listen, y'all know how I feel about Aaron. I didn't like how Aaron came into this. Like, it's funny that for years I screamed about him not doing it without Brett Favre soldiers, and he's literally the equivalent of what Brett Favre was. He's just more skilled and more people like him. And now look at his career, 15 years, tenfold. It's very similar to Brett Favre.
Very
similar to Brett Favre. They both got one Super Bowl.
Almost identical.
Identical. They both had a quarterback that was drafted that they shunned. They both were very rude and disingenuous on their way out.
Yeah,
they
that's
both
right.
Their way out at the end and kept playing with the franchise. Like,
the
guy he replaced him was like, that's a bad guy. He don't want to help me. He turned into that guy.
Sure did. And that's my knock on him too. That's one knock.
How often do you not turn into the parents that you hate?
Agreed.
I ain't gonna talk about that. I ain't gonna touch that one, but I get you. So here's my next question, though. Oh, dang, I lost it. Quick as that. Y'all talk too long. I lost the question. But I want to get into Dak Prescott because I hear a lot of people giving him the business because they say he hasn't done anything. People like him because they like him, but he's not that good of a quarterback. So I have 2 questions. Where do you rank Dak? And who do you believe is the best quarterback in the NFL right now? So I'll start with you, Court, this time.
This is a fire up Court question. I'm just giving you
maybe not.
Dak top 15. Maybe back in top 10, but he top 15. Best quarterback in the NFL. Best quarterback in the NFL. The best quarterback in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes right now. However, if you ask me who I'm taking Joe Burrow.
Why the difference?
Both are very good. Both don't care. I just appreciate Joe. I appreciate Joe's attitude more. I just appreciate Joe Burrow's attitude like much more. He's okay. He's okay in any role. he's okay being a bad guy. Or he's okay coming in here being the guy that's like, yeah, you're good, but like he's okay with spoiling the expectations of the masses for his sake. So I don't dislike Patrick Mahomes. Though I am also a guy that I can see you. I'm okay with seeing you ganged up and like crewed up and you got a crew. And then I want to see you without a crew. Are you the same guy? Like, are you the same guy without a line? Are you the same guy without an offensive coordinator that's, pretty much a genius, they say? Are you the same guy if you don't? Like, I've seen, but and people will say, well, you haven't seen that from Joe Burrow because he's always had Jamar Chase. But I've seen Joe Burrow without an offensive line.
And that's false. He has not. His rookie year, he didn't have Jamar Chase.
He didn't have. That's right.
And he was, and up until that injury, Joe Burrow, without an offensive line, without Jamar Chase, without Joe Mixon half the year, was still a stone cold murderer.
Yes,
sure was.
Yeah,
and me and Court, we were in private chats and on wax on several occasions saying, and shout out to Bo, but me and Court literally crucified this dude because he kept saying Justin Herbert is over Joe Burrow, and we kept trying to tell this dude, you are out of your cotton picking mind.
Yeah,
we kept trying to tell this dude, you out of your cotton picking mind. And year in and year out, he has shown you on several occasions. And Justin Herbert came in the league with two number one options, or a number one and then a number 1A option. Because you got Mike Williams, and you had Keenan Allen, and you had Austin Eckler in the backfield. Man, you came into the league with weapons that could solidify you as a top tier talent. And with Keenan Allen on your squad, you can learn how to be a quarterback very, very quickly because he's a very polished talent in himself and an elite route runner. So with all of that, and you still shit the bed, and you still ain't, and you just made the playoffs this year, while Joe Burrow came back his second year, got a college dude, and went all the way to the goddamn Super Bowl. Get the hell out of my face.
With that being said, then who do you pick as the best quarterback in the NFL? Then
as the best quarterback in the NFL,
the best.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it goes without saying. I don't think that's debatable. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. I personally agree with Court. Like, I'm rolling with Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. I think that Court. The reason why I'm leaning towards Joe. I haven't seen Josh with two top tier options yet. So I'm fucking with Josh heavy. But the reason why I'm leaning towards Joe is where me and Court have always agreed is the fact that Joe, the moment is never too big for Joe, and he never gets overly emotional.
Right.
His demeanor and his leadership, his leadership characteristics and his demeanor never change whether he's winning or whether he's not. He gonna puff that cigar whether he win or whether he lose.
That's right. See, Joe's like Joe Montana to me. That's how I look at him. But where do you rank Dak Prescott? That being said, where do you rank him?
He probably like number 11 or 12 in quarterbacks in the league.
Really? Because see,
Yeah.
I'm asking this question because I got into this long debate with somebody because I said that you could argue that he's top 5, but I don't feel he's top 5. But I will have him in my top 10.
My thing with Dak Prescott is this. He is the Russell Westbrook of quarterbacks. He's more concerned. He's more concerned with the triple double than the W.
I can't say that.
I think that it's easy. I think with that type of talent that he has been surrounded with, it's easy to stat pad. But when they need you to get a W, somehow, some way, you manage to shit the bed, and then I can never rationalize putting you in a top 5 when you can't make all the elite throws. And we know if he throws outside of the hash, it is pick city.
Well, I agree. That's why I would not have him in the top 5. I've just heard arguments with people still putting him there, and I said, okay, I can get with some of those arguments, but I'm not putting him in the top 5. But I do have him in my top 10.
Well, my whole thing about
I'm not ready to put him down in 11 to 15 yet.
I look at Dak Prescott how Court looks at CJ Stroud. You know what you're gonna get from him. You know you're gonna get superior leadership. You know you're gonna get a hell of amount of consistency. He's not gonna force anything down the field. He's gonna take the underneath passes. He's not gonna go out of his way to lose you the game. But if he's forced to make the throws that cover two forces you to make on very, very often occasions where you got to fit that shit either in the corner post or in them tight seam windows, you in trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, them cover threes and them cover two man zones that they play against him in the playoffs are on purpose. They are very intentional because they know what you're getting out of Dak Prescott.
They figured them out. They have figured them out.
If that running game ain't hitting, Dak Prescott Dak Prescott's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is why they let my boy go, Zeke. Okay, all right then, Dennis. Would you agree with their stance on this?
I agree somewhat. We all got Patrick Mahomes as number one quarterback in the NFL. There's no debating that. I can see why they got Joe Burrow number two, but on their Justin Herbert situation, because I am an LA Chargers hater. One of the rules that I got, and that's one of the reasons I say the things I say about Justin Herbert, because Phresh Perspective actually said this, and I just took it and stole it. Your franchise player has to get you to the second round of the playoffs. This is a Phresh Perspective thing. And so, with that being said, I just kept saying he's good in the regular season, but he can't get you no wins in the playoffs. And for him to be up 27 and lose the sunshine. And sunshine threw 3 interceptions. This is kind of like the conversation y'all just had with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. This is kind of the same conversation.
Same conversation. Yeah, I was wondering if you heard that Justin Herbert talk.
Oh, I heard it.
I thought of you immediately.
As soon as they talked about him, the first thing I thought about was Ronnie Bass. Ronnie Bass.
Hey, Dennis. When we first had our conversations about Justin Herbert in the private chat, and Dallas was going off about how good of a quarterback he was, the first thing that I said verbatim was Justin Herbert is a great stat guy. He can make all the throws. He's got the talent. But if you watched him at Oregon, when the lights turn on, when the biggest lights turn on, he's going to fail you. He just got to the playoffs this year.
So is he better than Kirk Cousins?
No, he is Kirk Cousins.
Who is better than Kirk Cousins?
Thank you. No, I said is he better? Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert is a very talented wide receiver. Justin Herbert doesn't have any heart.
Justin Herbert is he's a bigger, stronger Phillip Rivers.
Cousins got a heart.
Cousins got a heart.
He just don't get it done. Justin Herbert just doesn't have any heart. And everybody gonna say, well, I can tell you what I mean by don't have heart is I watched you possibly be the number one quarterback in the draft the year that was with all them quarterbacks, Daniel Jones and all of that. And we really watched you look at the draft and look at teams and be like, nah, I don't want to go to none of them teams. So I'm going to go back to school next year so I could get another group of teams. You really not really like, I feel like you one of them quarterbacks, you really don't care where you go. I'll make some shake out of it.
Joe Burrow didn't give a damn where he went. He just
out regardless.
Yep.
Don't matter what.
He just happened to luck up and go back to Cincinnati near Columbus, where it all began for him at Ohio State.
Well, I'm telling you, for me, Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback in the league right now. He is my favorite. I love him. He's from my home state too, but that don't have anything to do with it because he plays for the Bengals, who I hate. But I like him. The dude, I gotta root for him because I like him that much. And he is calm, cool. He doesn't care about the lights. He's in the moment. He loves it. I see a lot in him. And I feel for me, he's better than Josh Allen.
I don't
that
disagree
last
with you.
season that he's better than Josh.
I don't disagree with you. I think that I don't disagree with you that right now he's better than Josh Allen, but Court will tell you the loss of Brian Daboll affected a lot of that.
I'm sure. Well, he was better than him the year before last too, in my
Well,
opinion.
the other thing that I'll say about the Josh Allen comparison is Josh Allen. People keep overlooking the fact that the dude basically played with a Tommy John type injury for the majority of the remainder of the year. After week 8, he hyperextended that elbow, tore them ligaments, and still played through that. And that also caused a lot of changes in my opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but I think that a lot of, if you look at from week 8 on, the play calling changed a lot in terms of Josh Allen's dropbacks, and I think that injury played a huge part, because he was on record during one of the news conferences after that injury saying, I can still sling it down the field, but I'm having problems with accuracy on the underneath passes because it hurt, and if I'm not taking a shot, I'm gonna be in pain. Them sidearm passes that him and Patrick Mahomes do so well, he couldn't do it this year. So, I mean, that's no excuse as to why you get torched in the Cincinnati game at home. But I mean,
Yeah.
But again, Cincinnati matchup wise, Cincinnati is a much tougher matchup for us than Kansas City. Kansas City, we are built to beat Kansas City because we had just as much speed as them, and we are a blue collar team, and they are a white collar team. They don't like to get roughed up, and we didn't mind. But Cincinnati, they run the ball. They got 2 top tier 1 and 2 receivers, and they got a tight end that's a monster too. So it's a matchup problem for us.
All right, Dennis. Back to you.
Sidebar, Josh Allen. I do got to give some respect to Josh Allen because I was very, very, very down on Josh Allen. Sidebar, I wasn't a Lamar fan because I'm a Deshaun Watson fan, and I believe Deshaun Watson has the same big playability, but he's a better thrower of the football.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's really the difference. That's why, like he said, him and Lamar Jackson, I've always been against it since college, just because I thought Deshaun was just as like play explosive, but a better thrower of the football. So
I agree.
That added up more to me, like it aligns more. And I still think Deshaun will have an amazing fucking full season this year, to where he will restore some respect on his name as far as a quarterback goes in the NFL this year. I believe a lot of people are just like not paying him any mind. And I think y'all looking at me come off of a year and a half, 2 years of not playing football, and week 13 and playing and thinking it's bad. And I think a full offseason, he's going to come back and he's going to make a lot of noise next year. So it's going to be very interesting. But it's Josh Allen, I have to give respect to, because I was down on him the same way. But, bro, I watched him make some fucking amazing throws last year, especially on the run that was like ignorantly accurate and good. Ignorantly accurate and good to be on the run, or to be in a position he was to make some throws. So I have a much higher level of respect for him. I think Buffalo is in a very, 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 very critical point in a franchise.
Yes.
To where I think Brian Daboll's personality is missing from Buffalo, and I felt like they were missing that last year. That personality, just unfathomable, retarded belief that he gave to the Giants, and you could see just a random level of belief.
Change the trajectory of that franchise in 1 year.
Yeah, like there was an ignorant level of beliefs in New York, and then it looked like in Buffalo it kind of lacked a little bit. So I think Buffalo has to find that personality switch very quickly before it get bad.
All right. Well, let's switch things. Oh, go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
No, I said I agree. Go ahead, Dennis.
Let's switch things to the NBA, shall we? Let's switch to the NBA. So who do y'all like in this upcoming NBA playoffs? Who do you like? You give me an East team, give me a West team.
Right now, if you ask me who I got coming out of the East and the West, I got Milwaukee coming out the East, and it's tight, but I'm gonna go against a full grain that everybody believes. But as of right now, I got Milwaukee coming out the East and the Clippers. coming out the West.
Okay. Stanfield.
Sorry.
This has got to be a moment in history that we should archive, because this is the first time on the basketball side that me and Court have ever agreed wholeheartedly. I literally just had that same conversation yesterday, and I had the exact same two teams.
Okay.
I can't get there. I cannot get there with the Clippers. Cannot.
Who you got, Chocolate Girl?
I'm not sold on the West yet. I did change the Milwaukee.
Did you see the Clippers play last night?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't see them play last night, but that was
I
one
see
game.
that
No, I didn't see them. I've
that
seen
ain't
them
enough.
play this season though.
I'm sorry. I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about night before last. But
I'm not a believer in the Clippers in the playoffs. I'm just not. The Clippers are always going to clip. They always
Tell me
do.
again, the Clippers go what?
The Clippers go clip.
And
Yo.
they always are going to do that. They are the Clippers. Period. I don't care who they sign on that team. It just doesn't matter. And I try to
said.
Let me tell you what about me. I am not a person who just sticks by a team or hates a team, and all my opinions come from that hate or that love. I changed my mind about the Sacramento Kings. Now, everybody know I can't stand the Sacramento Kings. But I told Dennis, I told everybody when they got Mike Brown, I said, let me tell you, they're gonna make the playoffs and they're gonna be something to deal with Mike Brown as head coach. And what happened? And almost every talk here is every Tuesday night at 8:00. I have a chance to put them on my certified players list because they've been balling. That's how objective. I'm just letting you know I'm objective about this damn thing. So when I look at the Clippers, as much as I hate them, there's only one team in the NBA I hate more than the Clippers, and that's the Celtics. Hate them. But I can look at both of these teams and objectively say the Celtics are not coming out the East. Milwaukee has gotten an edge on them, and they got their number. And I believe Milwaukee is going to come out the East now. And I didn't get there until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I was riding on somebody else all season coming out the East. The West, I was riding on. I actually thought Memphis was going to come out, but I didn't want to tell Dennis, so I just kept that to myself. That Memphis was going to come out the West. I don't think they're going to come out the West, but it damn sure ain't going to be them Clippers. I just don't know who it's going to be yet. I haven't picked the team.
I said, at any point, if Tyronn Lue is able to garner the level of confidence out of Russell Westbrook that the Lakers were not able to tap into, that old Houston / Oklahoma City confidence, that would change what the Clippers are going to be able to do. The night before last night, I saw the old Russ. I saw it. I saw that nigga come back to life, and I said, Russ just put the league on notice. The Clippers are actually here now. So as soon as they get Paul George back in fluidity, if you still see that guy, it's over. The Clippers coming out the West.
I think they'll go far, but I still don't think they're gonna come out. Much as I love Russell Westbrook, love Russ. I still just don't. I just don't believe in the Clippers.
Well, as y'all know, I'm big Memphis. I got Memphis coming out the West. I've got Memphis coming out the West, and I'm going to stick with the Sixers. Those are my original picks from the beginning of the season. Memphis and the Sixers coming out. They're going to play each other in the finals. And I thought Ja Morant getting in trouble with the gun situation, I thought it was going to be worse than what it was. But it ended up not being that bad. And him coming off the bench the last 2 games, really been pretty good for Memphis.
Shout out to Court with regards to the Ja Morant situation. Court said before he even came back, Ja was going to be okay. He just needed to navigate his maturity level. And he came back and showed y'all ain't shit changed.
His game is his game. I can tell you that.
Honestly, the only other team that could, like right now to me, the only other team to me is Memphis. Is a big threat to them right now, just off the top of my head, and that's really, listen, we all been young. We all been outside. We all been a little out of control at times in our life. We've all need to reel ourselves back at some point. And I think the greatest gift and the curse for him in this is, wow, he has to deal with some maturity issues and grow up, and there's a lot of target on him. I think being away for 2 weeks, resting, sorry, Bart, allegedly, but I'm going to say this is allegedly, he has sobered up. You know, the boy had to dry out. You know what I mean? When you become sober, I think the curse, the best thing that might have happened for Memphis is the eyes are on him, so he has to pay attention and be more of an adult right now.
Mm-hmm.
He can't drink and party the way he normally does, which means he has to be focused on basketball. And he has to be focused on the team, which could be dangerous for other teams in the market who were basically, they were using their maturity against them in games. And I think now, since he is forced to be a bit more mature, it kind of levels them out, which makes him a little bit dangerous. So I got no problem with anybody picking Memphis. I just don't like, my problem with Memphis is there is nobody on the Memphis team who can create their own shot outside of Ja for real, consistently. So you get into the playoffs and they get the running sets and all that. And if you're not, if you're a pick and roll catch and shoot guy and you out of rhythm, how do you get in rhythm and you can't create your own? You get what I mean? Ja got to create that for you. So
wait a minute, you mean Dylan Brooks can't do all that by himself?
No,
Dylan can't. But
Dylan is a bad dude.
Batman's arch nemesis can.
Who that?
Bang!
No. Now Bane is very good.
Bang!
Now look, I scouted Bane. Bane is a very good shooter. Bane has some things to you. But if you just give Bane the ball, if they ISO, if a defense go, hey, give Bane the ball, I can guarantee you it's two things going to happen. It's going to be a dribble, pull up, or a dribble, run right and try to bulldoze my way to the rim. But he will not, he can't like shift and create and kick. He's not going to do that. Now, he's going to knock down some clean shots all night. He can shoot it from wherever you want. He can do all that. But if you talking about self-creation, if he beat me in self-creation, I deserve to lose. Book that. Like, I'm not worried. I'm more worried about Jaren Jackson by himself self-creating than I am about being honest with you. Like in full honesty. Now, the reason I picked the Clippers is because though everybody seems to, I understand the Clippers going to clip. If it's one human healthy, I believe in to navigate troubled waters is Kawhi Leonard. And I think he's better in the role of ain't no second, third guy. It's me and the rest of y'all. I'm Michael Jackson and y'all niggas is whoever the hell y'all are. I think he's better in that role. And if you just look at the Clippers the last 3 games Paul George been out, look at the offense. Like, people feel more empowered. I think they got a deeper bench. Eric Gordon is over there. Norman Powell is over there.
You see this right here, Court? See this?
I got you.
Ain't changing.
I got you. Listen, the way you feel about the Clippers, I felt about Toronto. And then he walked their ass all the way to the promised land. I felt the same way about
that year was a lucky year for them.
It was not no goddamn luck. Stop.
Yes, it was.
Stop it. It was not a lucky year.
It was a lucky year. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not taking anything away from Kawhi. He was definitely the difference maker. But the planets had to align right for them that season. Y'all got to see that.
The planets had to align right.
Don't act like it didn't happen.
The planets had to align right for Golden State to get their first championship too. Listen,
I'm just putting it all together. That's all.
Timing matters in the NBA. Timing matters, period.
Planets ain't aligning for the Clippers. No.
You don't want them to align for the Clippers because you're a Lakers fan.
No, it's not about one. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't think it will. I don't think it will happen for them.
I'm
not
telling
the way
you,
people want it to happen.
I'm telling you, they coming out the West. I don't know if they're gonna win it, but they coming out the West.
Only way they can come out the West is if somebody major got injured and couldn't show up for the game.
The only thing
all right.
I feel like y'all feel like Memphis is the only threat. I feel like a healthy Phoenix is the only threat.
No. Well,
That's me. I feel like KD. I feel like KD, Booker, and CP3. Them being healthy is the only threat to
but
the
see,
Clippers.
they still got CP3. See, this is what I'm saying.
CP3 already been to
Cannot
CP3
believe
already
in the
been to the
Suns.
finals.
I
He
can't
already
believe in the Suns.
CP3 already been to the finals, so you can't even use that
It
against
doesn't
him.
matter if he's been there before or not. He can't get it done.
He got out of the West. That was his biggest hurdle. Now that he know how to get out the West, which
We
is
all know
really
why they got
not
out the
playing
West.
until you get past not playing until you get past the Western Conference Finals.
We all know why they came out the West that season. We all know. Except
I
me, maybe,
think,
I guess. But
okay.
I know.
I got a sidebar question for you, Sharon. Do
Mhm.
you feel this way about Golden State?
What about feel what way? I'm sorry.
That some stars aligned for them to get some wins?
No.
They first
No.
championship, yes.
First
No,
championship, the
I
They
stars didn't
first
align.
championship, yes.
No, I believe they
Thank
beat
you,
who
Dennis.
they beat
Thank you,
because
Dennis.
they were the better team. That's what I believe.
The stars aligned for them to
Their
get
first
that chip.
championship, yes. I believe the same way she believes about Toronto. I believe that about the first Golden State
Dennis,
championship.
thank you very much. Because
Well,
if
but
Kyrie and
I
Kevin Love don't go down, them niggas
believe
is at home.
I believe he asked me, and my answer is no. That's
Dennis,
mine.
thank you for being honest. Because if
I'm
Kyrie and
not.
Kevin
So I'm
Love
not
don't
being
go
honest
down,
because I don't agree with
them
you. I'm
niggas
not being
are
honest.
ringless.
So you don't feel that the stars aligned for them last season?
No.
It
No.
absolutely did.
Not last season. No, I don't know.
Did they play a healthy Denver team?
They played a healthy enough Denver team.
No, they didn't.
I said healthy enough.
All right, then Toronto played a healthy enough.
But it wasn't. But see, every time I say the word stars being aligned, everybody immediately
Let's go get in the car.
jumps to who was healthy to play and who was not. That's not what I'm always talking about. It's not just a matter of who showed up and who was injured and who was out. There was a whole bunch of things going on that season throughout the entire playoffs that Toronto even got there. Even that series with Philly. Philly should have whooped Toronto's ass in that series. Everybody knows it.
Now, what they should have done is a fact. However, if I'm Kawhi, I beat a completely healthy Philadelphia team that was better than me. I beat them. I beat a completely healthy Milwaukee team that was better than me. I beat them. The only team I played that wasn't completely healthy was the Golden State Warriors. Everybody else was completely healthy, and I walked right through them. So why did the stars align more than I was good enough?
That's what I'm saying. It's not about who's healthy necessarily. It was more to it. There were some other things going on the 76ers that they didn't win that series. The 76ers should have won that series. Clearly, they should have won that series.
I think Memphis should have beat Golden State.
Kawhi's shot that won that game was pure luck. It was luck. The stars aligned. That was luck. That's what I'm talking about. When I say the stars align, I'm not just talking about who was healthy and who was not. It's more to it than that. Other things happened during that series, during those series, and that's how I feel about it. I felt like they were lucky to be in the finals anyway.
Oh, that's messed up.
That's how I feel. I'm just saying this is how I see it. I'm not saying that I'm right and you wrong. I'm just saying that's how I see it.
Yeah.
How I see it.
I just think the stars have to align for any team to win a championship in anything. I think things go your way.
Sometimes it's just the way it is because they're just that much better.
The only Warriors team that was that much better was the first year with KD, because they was definitely down 3-2 to Houston. And if
they were better the first one too, in my opinion.
Nah, Chris Paul don't get hurt, they lose, and they was down 3-2. And he was
Chris Paul could have gotten hurt. Chris Paul could have showed up totally healthy, not even with a hangnail, and they still would have beat them. I'm sorry.
Down
You're wrong about that. I will never concede that. I'm sorry.
Would you concede that they was down 3-2 when he was healthy?
Isn't that what happened?
And can you concede that when he wasn't there is when they looked like themselves and they won the series?
Okay.
So naturally what you're saying is you might feel that way, but when he walked off the court, my team was up 3-2 and you was on the ropes. When I didn't play, you guys were successful. But when I was around, you guys was on the ropes.
You got not just on the
All
ropes. Y'all
right,
boys,
so I
not
got
just
a
on the ropes. Y'all
question back
boys
to you
regular.
right now. These Memphis Grizzlies was winning without Ja. Are they a better team without Ja?
No. Watch this. I'll say this.
No,
last
they're
year.
not.
No, hold on. If last season, if Ja Morant don't get hurt, I take Memphis against Golden State.
But
I
all
always take
season,
Memphis.
when Ja was out, they won. They won 90% of their games when Ja was out.
Agreed.
They won 19. They won
that
19
blows
out
that
of
whole
19
theory
out of
out of the
25.
water.
Yeah,
Hold it, Dennis, hold it. If you're gonna say that if Ja was healthy and did not take out, they beat Golden State, then how can you explain the fact that they won 90% of their games without Ja? You can't leave that behind and then use the Chris Paul example to say, no.
They won 9. No.
They would have won. They would have won if Chris Paul was healthy. No, they would not have.
They won 90% of. They won 90%, 16 of 25 of their regular season games without Ja Morant.
That's what I'm talking about.
But we're not talking regular season. We talking.
I don't care if it's the regular season or the playoffs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Not when not in the talent of your team.
Okay, I got you. Wait
a minute. If your team can step up and win during the regular season, but they can't step up and win during the playoffs, then what does that say about your team?
Then the Golden State Warriors have no excuse for losing up 3-1 and blaming Andrew Bogut being hurt or Draymond being suspended. Then the Golden State Warriors have no excuse losing to the Toronto Raptors and blaming KD not being there and Clay because they won literally 85% of their games when those two guys didn't play that season.
No, I can't say that.
They did win it this season when they didn't play.
I can't say that.
They did do that. That's what happened, though.
No, I can't say that.
That's what happened.
This is a classic case of when women want their cake and eat it too. You are being self-serving based off of your feelings and natural hatred towards
that. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. This has nothing to do with me being a woman. It has nothing to do with me being a woman. I'm just telling you.
But that's the fact, right? You are a woman, right? You are not a they or a them, are you?
Court, you the one that's making all these leaps like that. I'm telling you the leaps don't matter. And I'm telling you, in that series, they were the better team and they should have won.
You can't have it both ways. Either it works with all teams or it doesn't work at all.
It doesn't matter. They still would have beat that team. Chris Paul or not.
And that's a lie.
He's not a difference maker.
That's a lie.
He proved that when the Suns went and let Milwaukee beat them.
Hey,
they lost because Devin Booker got the damn hamstring injury. That's why they lost.
That if you can agree, the Golden State Warriors were the better team against Toronto, and they lost.
If anybody gets hurt, it's always because that person was hurt.
No, I agree.
That's called the stars aligning. You said that yourself.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
You said the lucky shot.
I just said the stars aligned.
No, I did not.
You said the lucky shot. You said the lucky shot.
No, let me finish. Y'all keep trying to define for me what I mean by stars aligning.
No, you keep mixing up the bag to cater to your argument. You are the living embodiment of user bias.
I said that 5 times that when I say the stars aligning, it is not limited to a key player being injured.
But you're only saying that to cater to your argument.
That's what I mean. And I'm telling you that's not what I mean.
Oh, no, I agree with you. Then I agree if that is what it is and the better team was just a better team, then Golden State lost as the better team. They lost to Toronto.
No.
They weren't better than Toronto?
No, they lost because they had 2 key players out.
Who?
It wasn't like just one was out. They had 2. They had the number 1 shooter and the number 3 shooter on the team out.
So why
it would have been different if they would have had one of the number 1 and somebody who's the six man out. That's different.
So
hold up, Court. Let me just ask. I'm going to ask you this question, Court, and you could take it and run with it. I'm just going to ask you this question. Then why Golden State win against Brown and them when Kevin Love?
I can't. I'm sorry. It keeps
asking about why when Golden State won their first one when Kevin Love and Kyrie was missing. Why don't you feel that they lost because of that? Because they was missing their main 2 guys.
They weren't their main 2 guys.
Kevin Love and Kyrie was their main two guys.
No, they weren't. Their main
Yes,
two
they
guys
were.
is LeBron and Kyrie, not Kevin Love and Kyrie.
No.
LeBron
We're talking about.
Wait a minute. Hold
We're talking
it.
about a situation where
Just
Steph's
wait,
supporting
let me
cast,
go
his
there
number
and
two, his
you'll
number
see.
one, and number two supporting cast was down. This is the
Okay,
parameters that you
that's
set forth.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. So let me go there. Let me see where I'm going with this. But you got LeBron James on your team.
Oh my God! But you got Steph.
No. This is what the LeBron stands say. This is not Sharon. Don't get mad at Sharon, the chocolate girl, for saying this. This is what the LeBron stands say. So what? Remember the first time LeBron took Cleveland to the play? He drugged that raggedy team to the playoffs, to the finals. Remember that? Remember, he's King James, the Savior, the chosen one now. So it don't matter what happened to number 2 and number 3. He should have still won that damn series because he's LeBron James.
Is Steph
So
Curry
no,
the greatest shooter?
I will not allow people to use that as an excuse for the fact that what else they say about LeBron James.
Is
So
Steph Curry
no,
the greatest shooter ever?
I don't. Is who?
Is Steph Curry the greatest shooter ever?
In 2023, now yes, he is.
Back
then, we didn't say that then, but we saying it now.
Hold on. Has he been recognized as that as the last 4 years?
Maybe 3 to 2 years, but not the last 4.
He was recognized as the greatest shooter when he played Toronto and missed the game-winning game.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'll give you that. If you want to say it's got to be the 4 years back, okay. Still don't change what I'm saying, but that's fine.
No, you're right. What I'm saying is, in your premise, when I said last year they beat Denver that was hurt, the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 guy, only one of them played. Jamal Murray didn't play. Michael Porter Jr. didn't play.
Okay.
We don't excuse and we don't say, hey, their guys weren't there. We say, yo, Golden State was better.
They were a better team, period.
So Golden State
they were the better team. It didn't matter who showed up for Denver. They were the better team.
So Golden State were the better team than Toronto.
I wanted you to try that native lotion.
It was the better team.
Yeah, they were.
Klay Thompson didn't get hurt for real until game 5.
I know.
They were down in the series before he got hurt.
I know they were down in the series, but anybody could be down in the series. Even if you're the better team, all better teams don't sweep every series, Court. So you're going to be down. You're going to have some down.
All I'm saying is
the Chicago Bulls in the 90s
Correct.
was down, and they came back and won and never went to a game 7. So
I have no argument in that. My only argument is if you're the greatest shooter ever and you get a clean 3-point shot to tie the game, you don't get an excuse to miss.
Okay, in that one game, maybe not.
And it was game 6 when he needed it most to make it to win, and he did.
All right, yep.
So Toronto, don't dismiss.
But that ain't the only time that's happened.
He didn't make it. He didn't make the shot. I got you. I'm not disputing that. He didn't make the shot.
Because Steph Curry didn't make the shot, and because Klay Thompson got himself hurt and didn't do it. You can't dismiss my championship because Klay Thompson wasn't around when you're the greatest shooter ever.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because it was Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. It was Kevin Durant.
They just won.
It wasn't Antoine Iguodala. It was Kevin Durant.
They just won without Kevin Durant last year.
You know what? We just gonna
The previous year they won without Kevin Durant.
We just gonna agree to disagree. I'm not changing my mind, and you're not changing yours, and that's okay. But that's how I see it, and that's how nobody in all these years has been able to change my mind on it, because these arguments are fluid, and some of them are very superficial in my mind. But you can't have it.
When you say superficial, what you mean by that?
And then it's this way when it superficial, as in irrelevant to the topic at hand. That's what I'm. That's how I feel.
What makes the correlation?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question, Sharon. I'm asking you a question.
I know you
are. And what makes the correlation of missing pieces to a critical team, missing critical pieces to a championship team,
irrelevant for one case, and it doesn't make it irrelevant for the next one.
Because like I said, that was LeBron James.
Yo,
So
you know what's crazy about that?
Same argument that all these Michael Jordan haters make, that he is LeBron James, and you can have the Three Musketeers and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse on the team with LeBron James, and he would still win and beat everybody in the league because he's LeBron James. And if Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving are out, he should have still beat the Golden State Warriors. Yep. Because he's better than the Golden State Warriors. That's what the narrative was. So if that's the narrative, then damn all that stuff about them being out. I don't care. He should have still figured it out.
Here's my take on
his teammates. Okay, well then he should have elevated them teammates. J.R. Smith and them should have been able to help him win that championship against Golden State with they non-defense playing Stephen Curry. That's
here's my take on it. Here's my take on it. We can agree to disagree on that. I'm fine with that. But here's my take on it. You made a valid point about the LeBron James thing, right? Like he's supposed to be the carrier of all minions to a championship, right?
He the carrier.
Okay. What's crazy about this situation is when he did lose Kyrie and Kevin Love, he still almost went back to Cleveland up 2-0. If he makes that 3, Kyrie don't get hurt because they don't never go to overtime, and then they go back 2-0.
And if your mama had a thing, he'd be your uncle. She'd be your uncle.
I'm capitalizing off the point that you made, not my point.
I know you're agreeing. I got it. I understand. I'm just being funny. But go ahead.
But it's just crazy because in that scenario he almost goes back to Cleveland up 2-0, and then you win the first game, so that means you go up 3-0. I don't know if Golden State comes back from a 3-0 lead. And then you flip sides and you come back with those same two pieces, and you beat them the next year, albeit you needed some type of miracle to make it happen, which the miracle would be outlined as Draymond getting suspended and then you coming up with the block coincidentally. But that's why I say the definition of star alignment is very, very relative and subjective with respect to what your viewpoints are.
It is. You're right. Mm-hmm.
So that's the only point.
You're right. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're right. That is definitely how I see it. And I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm a fan, but I'm a realistic fan of who he is and who he isn't.
I too am a LeBron fan. I just wish that he would. I wish that we got the Detroit killer every night.
Yeah, look at his face.
Look at his face.
Didn't no damn Detroit killer every night. The hell?
Joel getting MVP. Is Philly going to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Next time you ask me this, I say, yeah, we ain't even make it. I ain't answering this question.
I know.
I ain't answering this question. That bad luck ass question. I ain't answering that.
I really hope Embiid gets the MVP. Embiid deserves an MVP. Period.
He's gonna get an MVP. He just ain't getting no success in the playoffs, but he will get MVP.
Huh?
I don't know. They want to give it to Joker so bad.
All right. I'm gonna ask one more question. We gotta let y'all. This has got too juicy. Y'all done started a whole other show.
It's taking all this time because y'all ain't been around. See, y'all can't stay away from us this long. Phresh Perspective.
Right.
I hope you listening, Goldie.
We have to keep a healthy assessment of supply and demand in place.
I hear that. Shout out to Mrs. Stanfield. Tell her we said hi. The NCAA tournament is in full force, right? We're down to the Elite Eight. Is there anything about this NCAA tournament, men's and women's, that y'all did like, you didn't like? Anybody y'all had going to the finals? You know,
I
there's
had
no more
Bama,
number one seeds around.
I had
Y'all
Bama
better,
going. Honestly,
y'all
I had
better
Bama
like
going.
Michigan State losing to Kansas State. That's what I better say.
I had Bama going to the championship, so that kind of disappointed me last night. Personally, I think Nate Oates should be on the hot seat. Not only because he had a loaded roster, but he had an All-American freshman point guard on his bench that he only allowed to play 5 total minutes of the game last night, which is completely disrespectful. However,
That's crazy.
yeah, that's nuts. I don't see how you sit that and it's a true point guard at that. Like a true point guard for an offense that was stagnant and couldn't create enough space. I don't see how you run that. You sit that boy that long. However, the only thing I'm going to say about the NCAA tournament, because it's out of whack, is shout out to New York, baby. We back on the map. We outside, man. It was about 16 of us in the Sweet 16. I don't care which way it go. All right, shout out to Kansas State and the East Side of Harlem kid Noel. We appreciate you for putting on for us, baby.
No, don't be shouting out no Kansas State against my
Oh, he got
Spartans.
to
Don't
shout
be
out. He got to
doing
shout
that.
out the other. He got to shout out the other kid from Brooklyn that was on Michigan State.
Yeah. No, I don't got to
He
shout him
only
out.
shouting out Noel because he's
Yeah,
from
he can do
Harlem.
that.
That's the
I'm
only
shouting out
reason.
Noel because he's from East Harlem, and that's where I'm from. So again, shout out to Noel, Sweet 16 in the Garden. You don't let a Brooklyn cat come in there and win nothing. All right? So I'm riding with you all the way to the wheels fall off, baby.
He
I'll let
pulled
it
that old Mark
slide
Jackson trick.
because
He
that's
pulled the
some
old Mark
home
Jackson
pride.
trick, arguing with the coach and then tossing the alley.
Coach, yeah.
Shout
That
out
was
to
funny.
the
That was actually funny.
Yeah, it's actually a fun tournament. I'm enjoying it. I didn't expect it to turn out this way. It shows the league, it shows the league is wide open. You just can't predict it. That was it. I'm really enjoying it actually.
Okay, Stanford.
Hey, I said this in the chat, in our private chat, and Court kind of echoed that. Thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to NIL and the transfer portal. Thank you very much for being in place because you have created the level of parity in college basketball and college sports as a whole that we have been dying to see. NIL when everybody can get paid, nobody has the overweight competitive edge when it comes to recruiting, and now we are finally getting the chance to see a landscape of college sports that we have always desired to see, and not just one dominant superpower or one or two dominant superpowers running the show. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Shout out to I meant to ask Court this last night, but shout out to Rick Pitino for signing that St. John's deal. I want to see what that's going to turn into. And then I too had Alabama winning. I had Alabama winning the NCAA tournament, so I'm kind of hurt and disappointed
You
about
always
last night.
got Alabama. Yeah, you Bama for life. You always got Alabama. Me, on the other hand, I was in the men's department. I was riding with Drew Timmer. I was Gonzaga. I was riding with the old man Drew Timmer. That's who I was riding. I wanted him to win the championship. In the women's department, on the other hand, I'm riding with North Philly, so I'm riding with South Carolina.
That's right.
Right. But I can't hate, though. I can't hate. LSU with the Bayou Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
The Bayou Barbie.
The Bayou Barbie. I cannot hate. She is no joke.
South Carolina gonna torch them when they catch them.
I can't wait.
They are, but they got a chance, though. They got a chance.
They do
They
have
got
a
a chance.
chance.
I like Caitlin over there in Iowa, and I like the Villanova girls too.
Villanova girls look good.
The girls been
Villanova
hooping
girls.
for real, y'all. The girls really been hooping.
Right, I've been watching.
Women's basketball. Yo, we said this during
always.
COVID. Women's basketball for the last 3 years has been off the chain. I've enjoyed. I have literally enjoyed the last 3 years of women's basketball thoroughly.
They about to have some new superstars in there now, so it's about to be even better.
Basketball is starting to pick up again, and it's starting to be really, really interesting and fun. Shout out to Rick Pitino, though. You know how I feel about that, D. Stanfield.
What part of New York is St. John's?
Queens.
Yeah.
Queens, but Rick, more so than anything, Rick gonna bring back the feeling. He gonna bring back the feeling of New York City. He's gonna bring back the talking, the anger, the aggression, point guard play, the defense, the crowd. He's gonna
He's bringing back the fundamentals. That's what he's gonna
yeah,
bring.
he's gonna bring
He's
back
a damn good coach.
the essence of
Dude
basketball.
knows how to coach.
Yeah,
well,
the essence of basketball gonna come back to New York
Yeah,
City as
he's
far
the
as
essence.
schools, and
Yeah.
he's gonna bring the essence back to it. And even in his first press conference, you could tell when he go, a lot of these guys ain't gonna be here because they ain't my type of guys.
That's right.
Flat out.
Sound like Dion.
Flat
Sound
out.
like
These
Dion.
ain't my guys. Y'all ain't my type of players. I ain't finna hold y'all. Y'all might as well go ahead and hit that transfer portal.
Pack that bag.
Yeah, pack your bag
it up.
and hit the transfer portal.
I heard somebody in the comment section say, "Oh, they bring the Essence Festival back to basketball. When was that?"
Ray Bertino gonna show up with a jacket with Essence on the back of it. Just call me
Yeah.
Essence.
When is Brian Culberson performing?
You know, Brian Culberson is a bad dude, man.
That's why. That's why I reference. My mom about to go see Brian next month.
Oh, for real? I've seen him live. He is awesome. He's flawless.
Yeah, she going to see him in Baltimore.
Cool.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, that's all the questions I had for y'all. Personally, I just want to let y'all know. Glad that y'all came on the show. Do anybody have any last words? Anything they want to say? Sponsors? Anything?
Appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for letting us on, bringing us out. We will be around more. Anybody that is watching the show, I just finished my first season at OTE. It was pretty solid. Next year, I'll be like much more involved and deep. So you in Atlanta, Atlantic Station, Overtime Elite, 16 to 19-year-olds, come out, enjoy, watch them. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to see two of them get drafted. There'll be lottery in this year's NBA draft, the Thompson twins. So
Wait, hold on. Before we leave, let's get to that. This OTE. This is not. So these are kids that don't want to go to college basketball. They don't want to play in the D League and none of that.
No, these are 16 to 19-year-old kids that either committed to OTE before. Originally, you could only go pro when leaving OTE. That's not the place anymore. You can be scholarship there. So you can go to college from there. They got a couple people that's going to college from there. Trey Parker's going to NC State. Kanan Carlisle's going to Stanford. Somebody.
Yo, Corey, you think Trey Parker needs to go to college?
Yes. And it's one more getting ready to go. Jordan Burks is getting ready to go to Ole Miss. They 16 to 19. You can do so. It's almost like a prep situation. You can graduate and do your out of school year. You know, you got to be 1 year out of high school to go to the league. So you can graduate, do your 1 year at OTE, then go to the league. You can do a scholarship program and go to college after you finish OTE, or again, you could go overseas. So it's really it's almost like a prep.
Okay.
But yeah,
y'all pick kids from all over the country.
They pick out of the top 150. But they do pick kids out of the country. You got Mandu, who's from Argentina. They've had a few foreign players. Alex Sarr is from France. He's a 7-footer. He come out next year. So yes, they pick people all over the country, internationally, state-wise, and they at Atlantic Station basically 6 months out the year work.
All right. Thank you for that insight.
Yeah.
Good info.
What you got, D. Stanfield?
Oh man, shoot. I appreciate being on the show. I appreciate being back in the fold. Appreciate the invitation. You know, I always love debating with you and Sharon, although you ain't do too much debating today. It was more so Sharon. I should have said something real shifty like Jalen Hurts gonna be trash next year, but I ain't want to fire you up either.
I'm waiting for football season. I ain't bother him yet. I'm gonna let him live until football season. Don't worry. I ain't forget to poke fun at Jalen yet. I'm just waiting.
That's my son, man. That's my son. I gotta watch.
If Jalen does not take this offseason seriously, that people are going to notice. I'm gonna notice the various flaws that he has and the various tendencies that he has, and he will not have the same type of year that he had last year. So he better take this offseason very, very seriously.
I don't think he's gonna have the type of season he had last year anyway, because I see him doing better. He only threw 22 touchdowns.
He might only throw 19 this year.
No, he'll throw 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling about 28.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna throw more touchdowns than Daniel Jones.
He already threw more touchdowns than Daniel Jones. I'm trying to
I'm
figure out
talking
what.
about this coming season. This coming season.
Yeah, see, you always keep doing your Daniel Jones thing. I noticed that. I'm leaving him alone, man. I'm leaving him alone. You
I
won the
told you,
Baker
Dave.
Mayfield. I'm gonna give you this. You won the Baker Mayfield Daniel Jones argument. I'll give you that. You won that one. All right? I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. You won that one. All right. Then in the Luca Trey Young thing, I'll give you that one. You won that
I
one.
won that one too. That, I was about to say.
Yeah, you won that one.
Hey,
I'll
don't
give
give
you
him that credit. No, he did not. They
Yes, I did.
I gotta give it to him. Luca's slightly better.
no,
Luca's slightly better. It's not
hey,
all the way better, but it's slightly
you gotta
better.
be like me. You gotta be like me. You can't give him that credit until Trey Young does something. Until Luka does something Trey Young hasn't done. And both of them been conference finals, all-stars. Neither's been MVPs, and neither led their team anywhere that
No, he came in. He came in the league doing something that Trey didn't do. He came in the league as a champion and as an MVP already internationally. Trey ain't do shit in college, so he ain't got nothing on Luka.
Are
Game
we
over.
counting international
We're not doing nothing on no nation.
Game over.
We are talking
Yeah,
about
and-
your NBA career. We are not. This is not the Nation of Hall of Fame, sir. All right, we are talking about your
Hey,
NBA
I
career.
can
only.
only compare your amateur career to my amateur career. In my amateur career, I was a champion and MVP. Your amateur
the way-
career,
but
you
the
shit
crazy
it out
thing
in the
is
second
the
round of
way-
college.
Hey, Courtney, the way he stated the argument, I'm just sitting there having a conversation. I was like, you know what? That Trey Young Luka trade was a good trade. This Walker's gonna say, no, it wasn't. Atlanta got still. They got the steal. He said Dallas got the steal of the century. Atlanta got the fucking robbed. They should go back to Dallas and ask for some money back. I said, they ain't get robbed. It ain't that bad. No, they got robbed. Then he got robbed. I'm like,
And look, I'm not even. And look, I defended Trey Young, and I'm not even a Trey Young fan. However, I will not credit Luka for doing the equivalent of what Trey's done, though Luka is bigger, stronger, and much more experienced. I cannot just say they won that trade when Luka ass ain't even in the play-in right now. You feel me? Like they both gonna be playing this year. They both been conference finals. Both their teams have struggled. Neither has been MVPs. Neither led the league.
Both their coaches been fired.
Both their coaches been fired.
Yeah,
but Dallas got the better owner though.
There you go.
Dallas got the better owner.
That's the only advantage they got.
Well, Dallas also doesn't. I mean, Luka doesn't have Kyrie right now.
No, whatever.
Well, no, Kyrie played the other night. They just them two play when they feel like.
And then he sat out the other night too. He sat out the night before that too.
We need to get Mark Cuban on the show, Dennis. That's all I know.
Kyrie don't even got Kyrie.
If your dough is right, you can get Mark Cuban on the show.
I can get.
I don't think it's
I'm
about
gonna try
the
to get him for free. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's about the dough.
Getting Mark Cuban for free. He don't do nothing for free.
Yes, he does. He does a
He
lot.
gonna want some steak in your show or something.
No, he does a lot.
He gets some steak.
You know what? We need to take the podcast to Shark Tank.
Maybe so.
Yeah, but I definitely Sharon, you got any last words? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, my thought for the day is always try just one more time. Just try one more time. Don't give up. You try something, you fail, you get up, you try it again. And you fail again, you get up, you try it again. Sooner or later, it's gonna work. But only if you always try just one more time. So that's my closing thoughts. What about you, Dennis? What's your thoughts for the day?
My thoughts for the day is make sure you keep things going. Don't ever stop. That's my thoughts for the day. Just don't ever stop. Just keep things going. Trust me. You think ain't nobody watching, you think ain't nobody paying attention to you. There are people paying attention, there are people watching. Do not stop. Keep it going.
That's right.
Your breakthrough is coming. Trust me.
Your breakthrough. Push through for your breakthrough. Go out there, listen to my podcast. Did you hear what Chocolate said? I got new content. Follow me, all platforms. Listen to my podcast, Court.
Apple Music.
I got you. Apple Music.
Yep, I'm on Apple, Google, Spotify, Pocket Cast. I'm on a whole bunch of them.
All I want
Rough
to
and
say
Tough
is
with Afro Puffs.
God bless.